Hi guys, it's Angie Bell with not Herbally Hip, My Fairy Treasures. That's my other channel. Sorry. It's Angie Bell with My Fairy Treasures. Okay, you guys, we're going to do some jelly printing. I haven't done jelly printing forever and I'm so excited. Now, the kind of jelly printing I like to do is very old world, old wall, old caves. So I don't make perfect jelly prints. I like to make them look like they are aged. Old world, paint's chipping off, layers and layers of history. That's the type of jelly printing I like to do. Okay, all right, so let's get started. And yeah, let's just get started and we'll talk about things as we go along. Okay, let's start out with my favorite colors too. And I will talk to you. I use a lot of different objects, a lot of different types of objects to jelly print with. So I will tell you where I get those objects as we go along. It feels weird to me because I'm using my plate horizontally, but it's actually working out a lot better as far as fitting on my desk. So anyway, it's just kind of odd to me. Okay. So, and I'll talk about the paints as I use them too. I'm using this right here by Master's Touch. It's thick acrylic body professional paint. You don't have to use professional paint, but when you use these paints, I got this from $4.99 because it's a big one and it's a thick acrylic. But if you buy the Master's Touch from Hobby Lobby, which is this Master's Touch, and you do the 50% off or 40% off, you're only going to have to spend like on this size, maybe $4 or $5, okay? Or actually $3 to $4. But you look for them on clearance. Look, I got this one $1.49. This is a huge one, $19.99. I got it for $4.99 because it's a thick body. See what I'm saying? So make sure you look out for when they go on clearance. Okay, so we have brown there. Let's do some bronze. And what else do we want to do? Are just those the only colors I want to use? I'm just trying to see if there's something else I want to use. And you know what? Let's try using, I love this color. It's called Warm Gray. I call it Putty. And let's put some of this on. Okay, and I'm almost out of it. I'm going to run to Hobby Lobby and get this color. Even if well, whenever it's 50% off, because it's $5.99, so it'll be $3 at half off. I don't know if they have half off anymore. They might only have 40%, but whatever. Okay. And do you guys see how clean this jelly plate is? This is my first time using this. I just made myself a new jelly plate. If you want a recipe of how to make it, go to my homepage and search jelly plate. And I'll show you how to make a jelly plate. It's very, very simple. And you save so much. Like this is like an 11 by 17 jelly plate. And if you were to buy an 11 by 17 jelly plate, you'll pay like $80 to $100. This only costs you maybe $10 to $15 to make. And even cheaper if you want to make one that's a smaller one. That's more of a regular size. But if I was you, I would go for this large one because you can do so much more with a large jelly plate. Okay, so let me I had to get a baby wipe. All right. You know what I feel like we need to add in here? Some gold. So let's do that real quick. Here and there. Okay. And I'm using magazine over on the side for my roll-off sheet. And eventually this will come out really cool and you can collage those too. Or you can make marks on these papers and turn them into collage papers, or just collage with them, period. Sometimes they're just so cool, just the way they come out, the roll-off sheets. Okay, so all right, I have a whole slew of things to use on the plate. Okay, let me show you what this is. This right here was a placemat, but I cut the placemat up. It was a flower, I think it was a flower, but look how cool this is. So this is gonna put some really good impressions in the plate. So let's lay that down. Okay, I'm gonna show you a few different things. And I got these from Dollar Tree. And then also what I got from Dollar Tree is a, this is a bath mat. This is fabulous. And I cut it all up so I have all different pieces. Get 2 of them, the bath mats, because you can cut them up into different sliced pieces, and then you can cut one just to fit your jelly plate, so you can do a whole bath mat on the plate, which also looks really cool. And then I'm going to show you something. This is for Legos. It's fabulous. We're going to use that. Just press that in. Bring that up. There we go. Also, I wanted to check this out. This is just a piece of corrugated cardboard. And I just wanted to see how that's going to look. I've actually never used corrugated cardboard, believe it or not, on my plate. Cool. I like that. And then we have this little block over here. This is just actually a fabric block, which I love. So I'm just gonna, any spot that I have left, we'll just use this, and we'll throw a little bit into that. Okay. And then we need to roll over this to really get it into the plate. Okay, and let's take all this off. Okay, make sure you have your baby wipe, because you'll need it. Baby wipes, paper towels. And then I have some paper that I really, really like. This right here is, what type of paper is it? It's a sketching paper I got from Hobby Lobby on clearance, and I love it. It's really nice and thick. The thicker your paper is, the more paint it's gonna pull up. Not that I always use thick paper, but I really like the effect of a thick paper. And it may take us a while to get going on this jelly plate. For one, it's new. I love, and even when you use a plate that you've had for a while, the first couple of pulls, sometimes you got to get the plate juicy. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, it already came out fabulous. Okay. I love it already. Love it. Check this out. Isn't that fabulous? Oh my goodness. Obsessed. Isn't that cool? And see what I'm talking about? How it's very old world looking, old wall. Beautiful. We're not doing nothing to this. This turned out fabulous. Love it. And sometimes what you might want to do is do second and third pulls on the same piece. Maybe it didn't turn out the way you like it. Maybe it does. Just, you know, experiment. Okay, I'm going to use on this here, I'm going to use some book pages. Book pages are fabulous, especially old book pages, because they have a little bit of cotton in them, so they're a little thicker. And this is older, this paper. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just, whatever's left on the plate, I'm pulling that up. And this may where I may put this back on the plate and do second and third pulls. It's really good to layer your pulls. And a lot of times this second pull is really, really cool and interesting. But we'll see. We will see. Oh, fabulous. Look how cool this looks. Doesn't that look so old world? I'm gonna probably do it again because I want to put a little bit more on here. So we'll do another layer on this one, but I like how it's starting out. Same thing here. Fabulous. Isn't that cool? So we're gonna put these aside because we're gonna pull them again. I'm gonna put those aside. Excuse my nose. All right, let's put some brown, because you guys know I love brown. Brown is one of my favorite colors. All shades of brown I love. Okay, there's that. And then let's do this brown red. Oops, I thought this is a new one. Okay. When I found these for $1.49, I bought them all. I think they had like 4 or 5 of them. This was last year. I was like, because it's one of my favorite colors to use on the jelly plate. This exact brand and this exact color. I was like, oh! I grabbed them right away. There we go. What else do we want to put on here? Do I want to put a little bit of turquoise? Let's put a little bit of turquoise, this color here. Ugh. Sorry, guys. Okay. Okay, we'll just take some off the lid here. Put it right on the plate. And then let me get a popsicle stick out so we can go like this. This looks like it's going to be real pretty. That's what I love about the jelly plate. Just pull out your favorite colors and some cool stuff to press into your jelly plate, and you don't know what you're going to come up with. Okay. We'll roll this off on my roll-off sheet. All right, let's put some other things on here. This is a I forgot the type of clock this is. The type of clock this is. It's like an ancient type of clock. Aztec clock, I believe. This is fabulous. So we're going to put that on. Going to press that in. And this is considered like a texture plate. I got it from, I think I got it from Hobby Lobby. No, I think I got it on Etsy. I'm going to do it again. Let's hold that there for a second. This is cool. This is some punchinella. This is what's left over after they make sequins. Okay, and I got that punchinella from eBay. These are really fun. These are those little poppers, and you get them at in the toy section at Dollar Tree. I'm gonna use those. One here, and then there's another one, square shape and octagon shape. They're circles. So pick these up. They're great for the jelly plate. And I think the more interesting things you can find, always be looking for things to put on your jelly plate. It doesn't matter where you're at, always be looking out for things for your jelly plate. And again, I'm going to use this in little areas where it can't fit anything. There we go. And did I get this on the punchinella? Okay. And on my punchinella, I'm going to use this. There we go. I got that in there. Just one second, guys. Kind of organizing myself over here. Trying to. Okay. So remember how I said I was going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use this and do a second layer on these, but not for the first pull. I want to do, I'm doing it on the second pull. Let's put this down. Oh, very cool. Look at this. Oh, I love that. Doesn't that look awesome? Let me make sure what you guys are seeing in the thing. Yeah. That is just fabulous. Love it. Okay, so now for the second pull, and I see a little bit of the paint's blotched up right there. I'm just gonna move it around a little bit. All right, let's do a second pull on this one. And a second pull on this one. And to make your own jelly plate, you guys, this is just an 11 by 17 cookie sheet. And all you need is, to make this size, you need 14 packs of plain gelatin. And 4 packs come in each box. So get the off-brand. And it'll be like nothing for those. So you need 14 of the plain gelatin, hot water, cold water, and glycerin. And the glycerin, it acts as the preservative. That's all you need. And you'll have a jelly plate. And a little bit of time. You'll have to wait, you know, I wait overnight. I waited overnight before I used it. Look how cool this looks. Is that fabulous? This is that old wall, old world that I'm talking about. Fabulous. I'm going to show you another thing with this we're going to do with these. Look at that. Fabulous. Let's take, let me find a different type of paper. Okay, this is deli paper, and you can get this at Sam's Club, in the section, Sam's Club or Costco. I go to Costco. You get it where they have, you know, the foil and all of that. It's called deli paper. And you can buy a big box of it, and this stuff collages down so beautifully. I love it. So there's that, and then let's also get a piece of paper going here, of a book page. I really love old book pages, because old book pages, like, God, 1940, 30, 50, anything below the 1950s, even maybe 1960s, they had some cotton in the paper. So it really helps to pick up off the plate. It's really cool how it absorbs. Oh, I love it. Look at that. I mean, we'll definitely do another pull on it, but look how cool that looks. So old wall. And look how the text comes up through it. That's cool. Now, this is really nothing, but it's kind of cool. But definitely, it's a good base for another, to go ahead and do a second pull on it. So, and by doing second and third pulls is where you can also get a really cool old wall look. Let's just see what else is left on this plate. I usually always leave a little bit on the plate for the next paper, but I want to clean this pretty good because I'm going to show you how to, yeah, we'll do second pulls on these, but this is a good base. Glaze your pieces, because I want to glaze these two. These two here, I want to glaze these. So how you glaze is you want to get the just the cheapy acrylic paints from the craft store. You want craft paint, craft gold or bronze, any of those metallics. But I like the gold and like the bronzy colors. And a pearl color would be really cool too. But you need it to be craft paint. You don't want professional paints because they're more solid. These are more see-through, and you want it to be translucent. So this one is the Folk Art Inca Gold of India. So we're going to use this one right now. And you know, you always go to in the craft section, you'll see different types of gold craft paint. Pick up a few different colors, because it's going to give you a different look. See, I have this color right now, and I have this color. So, and I have others too. But they have to be the craft paint, because the professional paints are opaque. A lot of times you can't see through them. These are always, you can see through. All right. All right, so you don't put any design in it because we're just going to glaze it. You're going to put this beautiful goldy translucent glaze over this, and you'll see what it does. It's beautiful. I learned this glazing technique from ROBYN McClendon. Love her. You guys, she's always in my description. Go check ROBYN McClendon out. You probably know who she is. Definitely go join her channel. You'll love her. If you like my style, you'll like hers. We don't have the same style. Nobody does. It's a similar type of style, though. Grunge, old world, old wall type of jelly prints and collaging with them. So, look at this. Look how gorgeous that is. See what that did? Beautiful. And look at this one. Hopefully you guys are seeing that gold sheen on these. Oh, these are fabulous. The other thing, if you like the way a jelly print has turned out and you don't want to use it because you love it so much, take a picture of it and then print it out. And then you make prints of your favorite jelly prints. That's what I do. If I like it, I take a picture of it on my phone. I save it to my computer and then I print them out. And then I always have them. And I put them with my stash and I keep that as a main copy. And then I always have those. Okay, something I want to try is I want to try turquoise and gold only. So I have this turquoise here. It's I have two different colored turquoises, which we're going to use both. Okay. And this gold, so the turquoise I used was multi-surface folk art. And then this one is the Master's Touch again in antique gold. And see, it got it for $1.49. I couldn't believe they were clearancing out these metallics like that. I picked those right up. I was like, oh, yes, ma'am. Sometimes you get little blotches, so if you see something kind of blotchy, kind of break it up so they're not, so you don't get these blotches of color. I mean, if you get blotches, it's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. It looks good, usually. But I like it when it's all kind of blended out. Okay, so now, oh, I know what I want to do. Okay, remember I was telling you about the placemat, or not placemat, the shower mat. You take your shower mat and cut it into different shapes, okay? But take your shower mat and make it the exact size of your plate so you can just have one whole sheet of this. How cool, huh? But you can take this and cut it into 1 strip, 2 strips, 3 strips, 4 strips, in half. So buy 2 of them, of the bath mats, so you can have one that you can cut up into different pieces. And then you can have one that you can cut the size of your jelly plate. Very cool. And we're going to use this here. This paper is almost like cardstock, but it's a little bit, it's thinner than cardstock, so it'll really still collage down really good. But it's thick enough that it really picks up paint off of the plate really well. It absorbs a lot of paint. You can also use your roller and roll. All right, let's see what this looks like. Oh, very cool. See how I see there's some splotches here and there? it's fine because we're doing old world anyway, so it don't matter. But look how cool that looks. Love it. And I'm going to leave this one because I like this one as a, I like it, period. I could just collage with this, but I like it as a base to go back and to decorate your jelly prints, which is going to be another video on further decorating our jelly prints, pushing our jelly prints further. Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and use these here, and let's go on top of these and see what happens. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens with this one. Beautiful. We're getting there. This has a lot of good stuff on it. Look at that. We're gonna print it for a third time on that one. Oh, this is cool. Look at this. I really like this. This looks so old wall. We're gonna leave this one. I like it. You know, let's just pick up whatever else is on this plate. Let's just pick it up. Yeah, let's just pick up. Let's just clean up the rest of this plate. It's those bits that are left over on your plate when you're going to make a really cool old wall. And this is called patchworking. When you just go to the plate and just pick up little bits from different areas. That's the patchwork technique, which I love. Look at that. Very cool. And you can still see some of the script and stuff there too. You know, this one would be really good glazed. Let's glaze it, and we're going to glaze it with this color, gold. And I'm only going to apply this to half of the plate because I don't have two things to glaze. I only have this one, so we're just going to put on this side of the plate. Okay, so let's glaze this. Okay. Look how cool that looks. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. And you can see the script in the background, and fabulous. Love it. I'm gonna do another one with this turquoise. I'm gonna try this color, turquoise. Okay. This was the old Master's Touch bottle, And I ended up getting these not for $12.99. I got these for like $2. They were clearancing them like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I picked them up for $2. I bought an obscene amount, and I'm so happy I did. Because if you jelly print, you need a lot of paint. So, and when you see them on clearance, that's when you need to buy them. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna do it more in a row. Instead of mixing them, how I mix them up a lot, I'm just gonna do them like this. I'm gonna do it like color blocked. Okay, now we're going to do the gold here. And then just kind of roughing it up a little bit because the gold is really thick. These Master Touch paints, they're professional paints, so they're really thick. So they like to, see like here, they like to, let me just get this out. They're thick, so they like to be blotchy instead of blend out. So just kind of go over them like this to kind of break it up. There we go. There we go. Trying to think if I want to have any design in here or not. I think I don't want any design. Right, we're gonna kind of pick this up like this with no design in it. And there still may be a little bit of design in it. All right. Love it. Look at that. This just makes a great base to do some decorating the papers. So we'll do some cool decor on top of this. This would be great to put a lot of intuitive symbols, intuitive writing on it. It'd be a good base. It's a good base for a lot of stuff. So love it. We're going to leave that. Okay, let's see what's on here still, so we can still put some more onto this one. Let's patchwork this on here and keep building this one up. Fabulous. Look how cool this is looking. I love it. I want to add a little bit more to this, so we're going to put that to the side, and we'll keep adding to that. Okay, I'm going to show you another thing that's really cool that you can use. This right here is a texture, is a 3D texture plate, but you can use any embossing folder, not plate. They're embossing folders, but they can be used as texture plates, okay? These embossing folders. I have the regular size, but this is a little mini embossing folder, which I think is fabulous. And I have a thing with a whole bunch more in them. And we'll do a whole session with just using your embossing folders, okay? Okay, let's go for this. We're going to use this dark brown raw umber thick body Master's Touch paint. That there. Then I want to use that. This is brown red. It's like a rust color. Then I want to use, let's put some turquoise on there. Let's use this turquoise color. Okay. We'll use this brown here. And then we'll use some gold. This antique gold. Yeah, that's how much they were, $1.75. Remember I said I bought these like 5 years ago? They were $6.99 for this big huge thing. $1.75. It used to be, this is the old Master's Touch. It was called the Fine Touch, and then they turned it to Master's Touch, but okay. And I believe they went down to $1.75 because they changed the packaging. So, and they actually changed the name a little bit. So, I love when they change packaging because then you get a good clearance. Okay, let's go ahead and mix this all up. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys something. Look how cool my roll-off sheet is. Look how cool that is. Isn't that looking cool? And what I love using a magazine piece, it glues down so good when you collage with them. But look at all the the letters and the words in the background. Doesn't that look cool? Looks like an old wall that had posters that's been painted and chipped, and we're done with this one. This one's cool. We're definitely going to keep that the way that is. I love it. Okay, I do want to make sure that we don't have these splotches. So let's mix this up a little bit. Wherever you see it kind of gathering too much and not blending out. The brown's doing it too a little bit. So just rub through them a little bit. And you'll be good. All right. Let's rub through all of this again. There we go. All right. Oh, I said I was going to use this. Okay. So let's use this. This is, like I said, an embossing folder. This is those 3D ones. And Tim Holtz has the coolest ones. And you guys, I never use my embossing folders, so if you don't use your embossing folders either, use them for your jelly plate. Okay, there's that. Then this is a stamp, like a sponge stamp. I'm going to use this one, and we're going to put that here. And I'm actually even going into the embossing folder a little bit. This is another placemat that was a flower that I cut up. It's an old one I've had for a long time. We'll use that. This is the new one. We'll use that. This is a little circular piece of the new one. We'll use this. This is for Legos, Dollar Tree. Remember I said you can cut that placemat up? Just one little piece right there. So let's just roll over this to get the impression in good. All right, so we got all these pieces in there. All right, let's see what we can get off of here. What do I want to use? Let's use deli paper. I also have, let me see if I can get it real quick. Oh, yeah. Okay, here it is. I also have this stuff. This is fabulous. This is calligraphy paper you get at Daiso. So try all kinds of paper. This comes out good too. We're going to use this right now. Let me get a few pieces of it out. Actually, let's just take it all out. And then I also got a sketchbook from Dollar Tree. No, this is Daiso also. So let's see how this paper works out. Just whenever you see paper, get it. Get it because you never know. You want to try it on the jelly plate. All right, this right here is the calligraphy paper. And I like this calligraphy paper. It's an extra thick calligraphy paper. And also I like the, it's like a little bit off-white. It's like parchment color. And I like a parchment color or an age-looking color because then it just helps, like wherever the white space is, it's kind of colored in a little bit. Now this is the sketch paper from Daiso. Let's try that too. I want to see how that's gonna, I don't know if I've used this yet. I don't think I have. I think I just picked it up from there and I didn't use it on the plate yet. So we're gonna do it now. Oh, fabulous. Look at this. Is that so old world, old wall? Phenomenal. Love it. So that sketch paper from Daiso is fabulous. And so is this calligraphy paper. Look at this. Oh, so cool. Isn't that just so old wall, old world? Love it. All right, so let's now, we have all this stuff on it. Let's patch this. Okay? Using the patch technique by just patchworking. Use the patchwork technique. We just go through and just take off little bits and keep adding. Look how cool this looks. Love it. Now I'm just going to take it and I'm going to put it down completely. Fabulous. And then we got one more technique to do today and then we're going to be done. One more technique. Look at this. Look how old wall that is. Fabulous. And we've been working on this whole time. And now we got it. Look how cool that looks. And this is the kind of old world, old wall look you can get with that patchworking. That patchwork technique. All right, so another thing I want to do, I'm trying to think of what paper I want to use. I think I'm going to use the calligraphy paper. Let me take my gel plate off for a second. And we want to put a design in here. This is called intuitive symbols. You can have two intuitive script and intuitive symbols. It's just letting your hand do what it wants to do. And I would do it on the side. There's a rougher side and a smooth side. I would go on the rougher side. So let me just see here. And I'm using a big fat marker. There we go. So there's my intuitive symbol, okay? So now what we're gonna do, we did it in a black magic marker, right? You could have done that with a paintbrush and black paint if you wanted, but I used this fat black marker. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is I created, where is it? Some quinacridone, golden quinacridone. And how you create this is, it's, I wrote it down. Because quinacridone is expensive. Golden's quinacridone, I'm not saying it right, but you guys know. Golden's quinacridone, sometimes I can say it, sometimes I can't. It's expensive. It'll cost you probably 20 bucks for a small bottle. But they don't even have that color anymore. You have to mix colors now to make it. Why would you stop making your most popular color? Anyway. You could take any paints, any brand of paints, and you need a yellow, orange, and red. Okay, a basic yellow, a basic orange, and a basic red. And you do equal parts yellow, orange, and red, and then just squeeze a little bit of black in there and mix it up, and you'll get this color. You get that Golden's quinacridone. I can't say it. Anyway, I did it in here. Look at that. And it looks so similar to it. It's fabulous. So let's take this out. And I made a bunch of it up, so I have a lot of it. This and okay. And this is just gonna go, I'm gonna take this and go right on top of here. This is another idea I got from Robyn McClendon. I seen her do this and I loved it. So I do my own intuitive symbol, and then I made this paint, this quinacridone. See, I just said it now, quinacridone. Sometimes I can say it, sometimes I can't. Isn't that crazy? Now I'm saying it, now I can't say it. Anyway, it's one of those kind of words. Oh, look how cool this looks. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That could be a cover for a page, a journal, anything. Look how cool that looks. I love it. Now you could add a little extra orange, you could add a little extra red. and play with the color situation. The black, you only want to put a couple drops in because it's what makes it, muddies it up, okay? But I love this. Let me see if I have something else that we want to do. Let's draw another symbol. Oh, in fact, I know what I want to do. And the best thing is work intuitively like I'm doing. Just work intuitively. Let's put a symbol on here and then pick up this, what's left on here. So let's do another symbol. I'm doing 2 symbols. All right, there we go. So it's basically one big symbol, then I put some little smaller symbols on there. Okay, so just let your hand do whatever it wants to do. Now another thing you can do is you can use the ink, the Sumi ink, black Sumi ink. Do I have it sitting right here? Anyway, you know what, just black ink. You can use black Sumi ink, and you can use one of these, that calligraphy brush that you can get at Daiso. Okay, you get 2 or 3 in a pack. That does it beautifully too, and you can lay it out. But just for the sake of time, because you have to let that dry for a second, I'm using that marker. Okay, you can do it either way. Look how cool this looks. Let's just keep picking up whatever's left on here. So cool. Look at this. Look how that's turning out. Pick up the rest of it. And I'm looking at this color of this quinacridone. I could have made it a little orangier. So if you want it to be if you wanted it to be a little bit more this way or that way, add a little more orange, add a little more red, add a little more yellow. So, oh, look how cool this looks. Isn't that cool? That's done on a book page. I love it. And even if you ripped it and you only use like this part here in a collage, that'd be fabulous. If you only use this part in a collage, that'd be fabulous. You could glue the whole thing down. How cool is that? I love it. Okay, you guys, that is it for this one. Let me know how you liked this jelly printing session. If you like these old world techniques, make sure get yourself some paints. I do have to say though, I do believe that I would mix the cheap acrylic paints and also mix it with the more like Master's Touch, the professional paints. You're going to get a really cool look if you mix like this with Delta, which is an acrylic paint, right? Do I have another acrylic paint? Some of the, just to make sure you get the acrylic craft paints, mix them with the professional paints. The professional paints are going to pull up a lot off the plate because they're thicker, okay? But you can use any paint you want. But I would use a mixture. Keep a mixture of high and low paints. If all you can do is the lower paints, like the acrylic paints, the craft acrylic paints, use the craft ones. No major. Okay, you guys, that is it. You know what? Do I want to try that? You know what I want to try? Just a second, guys. I want to put a gold. I want to glaze this. Let's see what's going to happen if I glaze it. I'm just curious. It just hit my brain cells just now. So let's glaze this. And we'll just do it on half of the jelly plate. Oh, cool. It just adds a little bit of a glaze to it. A little bit of a golden glaze. I love it. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, there we go. All right, so there's still a little bit of paint left on my jelly plate. So let's leave the plate. Leave a little bit of paint on your plate because that just adds, and there's design in here and stuff too. It adds to your next pull, okay? And I want to show you something that I do to keep my jelly plate nice and moist. I have some placemats I get from Dollar Tree and put the placemats on here. And then and you have to kind of cut them to fit. These were a little bit big. And then, you know, I actually could cut this more, but anyway. There we go. So this pretty much fits. I'm just going to put the second one on to make sure that it's good down there. And then this way you can put it away like this, and this can keep your plate safe, okay? If you do it in a cookie sheet. And I will link a video on that I have that shows you how to make a homemade jelly plate. I'll add a link onto the end of this video. Okay, you guys, that is it for today. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you can give this video a thumbs up. Any comments or questions, leave them below. Make sure you subscribe and leave a thumbs up. All right. Love, peace, and happiness. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Toodaloo!